Okay, so this is a little 3-card pull for, here is a wood dragon, where we are, something we need to be made aware of, or something that may be hidden, and potentially where we're going if we stay on this track. Okay, so overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Okay, in the reverse position, Metox. And where we're going, many masks, the authentic self. Okay, right, so this is perfect. So yeah, overflow, Ooh. Someone's talking to me here. Hold on. Let me get this off. Oh, very dramatic. Okay, so we are currently in massive overwhelm. We're in massive overwhelm, but it's like divinely lit, you know? And we've got this very grand palace with quite an Eastern style, which is, you know, sort of sadly appropriate. And then it's got this reflected self. And it's this kind of, there's water pouring from everywhere in this palace. And to me, it's really speaking, at this moment in time, it is speaking of the shattering and the breaking down of kind of illusory control and illusory power. Because we've all lived in this idea that we are safer being controlled by another, by these powers that be, by the men in the kind of, you know, in the castles and in the palaces. And, you know, this water aspect, this water pouring through them is this idea has to be cleansed out, you know, it has to be cleansed out, which kind of brings us on to this Metox. Now, this is repairing the mind, body, and spirit. Metox speaks of really getting cleansed and detoxified on all possible metrics. So this means bodily, what's going into your body, what are you eating and drinking that you know it doesn't agree with you. Your body tells you it doesn't agree with you every single time you do it, and you do it anyway. Now, no judgment in that, because there are very deep reasons why we don't put ourselves as worthy enough to actually not do it, you know. So Metox is asking us to work on our own cleansing. We've got this societal and structural and power cleansing to be done, but individually, this is why it's in the protection position, because we need to pay attention to it. Individually, we are as responsible as the kind of systemic powers that be to do our cleansing. And what happens on the kind of on the internal and individual level is reflected back to us on the world stage. Now, I also think it's important to say that Metox is about not just about kind of bodily what we're allowing in, food or, you know, alcohol or any of those things. This is about cutting the crap and the shite out of your life in whatever form that comes, whether that is unhealthy and toxic relationships, whether that is massive amounts of social media where you're just having kind of an endless stream of negativity and falsehood, you know, in many senses coming in to your own energetic system and your own body and your own awareness. It's about being really, really clear on what is good for you, and that will be different for somebody else, you know, in the same way that somebody is lactose intolerant and the other person is absolutely not. You know, you have to know and be really super kind of tuned in to what makes you feel good and what makes you feel like shit, because it's really actually quite obvious when you start tuning into it. Do more of the stuff that, you know, cleanses you, refreshes you, makes you feel on top of the world. Be with the people who do that, and be really quite kind of strict and ruthless about what doesn't. And so where this is going in this year of the dragon, the many masks, the authentic self, it's gonna allow the many masks of ourselves to fall away. Who are we kind of pretending to be in order to keep every bugger happy? And also the masks of, you know, systems and people who are supposed to be, you know, supposed to have had our best interests at heart, are going to fall away, and we're going to see this for what this all has been all along. These leaky palaces that, you know, no longer hold water. This authentic self, it doesn't come overnight. It requires honesty, and it requires work, and it requires you to really kind of go into places that you might not want to go within yourself, and it requires you to let go of an awful lot of stuff. But these are the times we're in, you know. We're not in flim flam, you know, let's dip a toe in kind of times. We're in absolute restructuring of all that we know to be solid and true, and, you know, and the entire sort of systemic world that we know. And that can sound really scary, and it is. I'm not underestimating that. But there's going to be this look at the purity and the beauty and the light of what can come, and just realize that the destruction, now I'm not talking about the destruction of any particular place, no, but I'm talking about the destruction of what that is causing us to see the rottenness of certain systems and governments. And, you know, I include my own government in that 100%. You know, it's showing that up under a guided light. It's not saying that the destruction is holy or, you know, all that, but it's showing that what is causing those kind of absolutely abominable acts is the fact that the people who have been in the palaces and had the power, they just do not have the best interests of humankind at heart. So there we go, a very interesting spread for our year of the dragon.